So a business model is the interface between the innovation and the customer. It's all those points of contact, the cash flow, the training, the delivery of the value, the feedback from the customer. These are all the elements that make up a business model. And the way that you can think of describing a business model is really by looking at all these points of contact, which include, price, which include revenue flow, which include whether there's training necessary or not, whether it's what's the periodicity or the temporal nature of the engagement. Is it a one sale and then you continue to use, or is there lots of points of contact, a disposable that keeps on getting used? Those are the fundamental elements of a business model, and you can describe and really categorize business models by looking at that interface, margin structure, et cetera. It's very important for the business model to fit the innovation and for that business model to be sustainable in that mode. There are many great inventions that really do solve an important problem, but the cost of bringing those technologies to the customer, which could include development, but could also include just informing the customer of the innovation, are so prohibitively expensive, and the value attributed to the innovation is so small, there's just no way to make it work. So one really does need to think about business model early on in the innovation process and make sure that they have a business model for their innovation that makes sense, and make sure that the business model is not the driver, but the business model that is appropriate for that type of innovation results in a sustainable business. Saying that a business model is just about how do you make money is sort of something that's true and not true. I think that the perspective one has to have, if you're going to be an innovator, is that your innovation is desirably going to be sustainable. To deliver that innovation requires some cost. You have to be able to recoup that cost to even just pay for the organization to deliver that one innovation. If you'd like to innovate and continue to provide new innovations, then there must be incrementally greater cash flow back to the business to invest in those activities. And in almost all cases, there are investors who've invested their dollars in these companies that are expecting returns. And that is the third place where these cash flows go. Investors like a company, there's more access to capital, which means there's more access to growth, which means if the business is well run, more opportunity to innovate, more opportunity to grow, and really build value both for the customers as well as the shareholders and the employees. So this is sort of the ecosystem that is a fundamental process of a sustainable, thriving business, a sustainable, thriving investment, and a technology that can durably deliver its value to its customers over time.